Bro, somebody needs to tell me to record in landscape and not the other way. I keep forgetting. And I go on these fucking rants. And then I realize that the material really isn't that useful for me because it should be this way. Because that's how YouTube likes it. So let's try this again. It's been a couple days since I recorded. Last time I think I recorded, it was Saturday and I was getting ready for a shift. I had just given myself my 4th Zepbound shot and I was prepping myself for a 12-hour shift. The shift, not bad. Can't complain too much. So I have had a black cloud over me for months now. And every time I pick up a shift, it all goes to hell. I get the sickest of the sick patients. We have hiccups. Maybe we have the wrong orders or the doctor's not used to the order sets in this hospital, or we've got airway issues and all of a sudden I've got 5 providers in my room trying to get and maintain an airway and just things that are not the norm. When you intubate a patient, granted, nothing ever goes smooth in nursing, but usually you get what you need, especially if it's not emergent. And we knew this was coming. We knew it was coming. I had everything I needed, my meds, some fluids. I had everything to make sure we stabilized the patient while we were doing this induction. Everything went wrong. Everything went wrong. I even had some newer nurses looking into the room like, oh, that's what a shit show looks like. Yeah, hang out with me and you'll see the shit shows. Last Saturday, not half bad. I had a pretty stable ICU, typical ICU patient. I was open for admit, and my admit was an adorable older lady who really just needed close observation. So she didn't take a whole lot of my time. I got to let her rest a bit, and can't complain too much. That doesn't happen often. I always complain after work. Also, so with the Zepbound, like I said, I took my Zepbound shot last Saturday morning. I think it's in this video. I'm munchy, still munchy. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm trying my best to work with the medication and at least create healthier foods for myself. But I did talk with my doctor, and the order she sent in to Lilly Direct, the manufacturing pharmacy, is for 5 milligrams now. So my first month was on the 2.5 milligrams introductory dose. Just kind of see how my body reacts to it, side effects, all that good stuff. And now my second month will be on 5 milligrams. And I'm hoping I see some of those effects a little bit more. Some of that reduced food noise and decreased hunger pangs, and hopefully see some more weight loss. Man, I have to start from the beginning because I didn't record correctly. Finals week. This is finals week. I've got 2 projects due this week. Wednesday, I have my psych interview that I need to record and send in, and that's my final for my psych class. And I have to sit down with a friend or family member, and they have a little prompt themselves. They're supposed to be a 34-year-old male or female, divorced, no kids, down and kind of low mood for the last 6 months, decreased interest in doing the things they normally do. So I think I talked my best friend into coming and being my patient and being recorded. She's got 3 kids at home, so sometimes it's hard to sneak her away from the house, but I'm going to do my best. I don't think my husband wants to do this one. He's already been picked on a handful of times for my other classes. So that video has to be done in one take, essentially. It doesn't have to be the first take, but it's got to be done in 1 take. No editing, no cuts, and I have to scan the room to show that I've got no helpful information tucked away anywhere. There's a whole rubric, and it tells you like pass-fail information and where the points come from. A lot of the pass-fail stuff's really easy. It's like, use the patient's name. Is there a so-and-so? Come on back to the room, tell me your last name. Hi, my name is Jessica, I'm gonna be your blah, blah, blah. Those are all pass-fail things, and that should be easy enough for me because I've been a nurse for over 12 years now. And I've introduced myself to plenty of patients. It's the digging into the depression screening that I wanna make sure I get correct. Because everything we do at work is automated. We have a computer in front of us, it's got click boxes, it takes you through a full admission, which we do look at depression indicators and home safety indicators on all patients that come into the hospital. But you just essentially read it off a screen. Do you feel safe at home? Have you ever had thoughts of hurting yourself or others? How are you sleeping? How's your appetite? But this time I have to memorize it and associate it with a diagnosis, depression, and figure out a treatment plan for my patient. Make sure there's nothing going on medically that might cause their symptoms, any thyroid issues, so make sure they get appropriate testing before or while we treat the symptoms that we currently see. So with some studying, I think we can get there. I got a couple days, I can really dig into it and make sure that I'm looking at all the right factors. And then after that, I've got my final test for healthcare policy. That's pretty straightforward. I'm not too worried about it. It's the last half of the textbook that we used. I'm going to print off the PowerPoints, take a few notes on them. It's usually just the highlights of the chapters. And that's it. Semester's over. Semester's over this Friday. But summer semester starts Monday. There's like zero break. There's a weekend, I guess, if you count it. But I picked up Friday, so there goes part of my weekend. Working Friday night into Saturday. I think that might be the extent of it. I tried not to put too much hard-hitting stuff on my plate this week because it is finals week and I do really want to focus on the assessment portion of everything. But that does leave me a little bit of wiggle room to get some things done, like meal prepping and making sure I'm eating healthy. Oh, we gotta work out. I didn't work out Saturday before work. I have a real hard time figuring out time management before work. And I wake up in the morning at like 9 a.m. after a decent night's sleep. But also I'm getting ready to be up from work from 7 p to like 8 a typically. So at what point do I nap? At what point do I get a few hours of sleep before work? So it always feels hard fitting in a workout before a work day. So I skipped it. I skipped arm and upper body day. So I've got to make that a priority today also. Okay, I've been talking a lot. You know what I haven't been doing? Studying psych. So I think I'm going to go back to the beginning of this class and check out all the YouTube videos that have been posted. They cover quite a bit. It's really helpful. So I think I'm going to go back to the beginning of the semester, check out all the YouTube videos, try and absorb those because it's easy to learn when you're going through it. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. And then you go into the next week and it's completely different subject matter. You're like, yeah, that makes sense. But this week's getting a little further away. And then you go into the next week and you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. And then the first week, all of a sudden, she's gone. What did we learn about the first week? Oh, that was the psych interview. That's the thing that I currently have to focus on right now. So time to go back and look at everything. And I think that's what today is going to be, just a refresher